Hello, 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 people. Shall we get this party started? So we're back for another installment of some tactics. Let's see if we can breach the 2500 club today. So we've been steadily climbing, doing pretty decently in the tactics. Yeah, let's jump right in there. Okay, well, you can only see the board, of course. But for the last, wait, how many do they show? Let me just see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they show the last 14 puzzles, and we got one wrong. So in the last 14, we've had one wrong. So we're doing pretty solidly, upping the percentage of, pass rate. So that's very good. So yeah, let's get right in here with our first puzzle. So it's black to play. Okay, there seems to be some mate threats. I mean, I don't really see why we can't just take the bishop on d3, because he can't play rook d2 because of the queen hanging. Is there any crazy options for him of playing knight g5? But then we just play h6, don't we? So I don't see why we can't just take. Is there any other tricks up our sleeve as well? I guess he does have some other takes, but his rook on e2 is hanging as well. So don't we just win a piece? I mean, this looks fairly logical. That's it. That was apparently it. One mover and and it's done. So obviously they're just trying to show you that you can't take the bishop on c5 because after knight takes e5, queen takes c5, queen takes e2. So he just ends up losing his rook on e2, of course, and something like knight g5 does nothing. We just play h6. So bleh. We could even maybe play bishop f5 even to block to protect h7 and put another defense on the knight. So no, there's nothing fancy there going on. Let's move on to the next puzzle. Whoa. Okay, black apparently doesn't want to develop. White has everything developed. I feel like there is a crazy idea here. Just need to find the right way to do this. Okay, so he cannot take our rook. We don't have to worry about him taking the rook. So there's something like knight f4 maybe? Just decide where the knight needs to go. Knight f4 or knight d4. Because if he takes, we just go check, and then he has to put his rook back, and then it's just mate. And if he doesn't take, okay, so now we have to block. Yeah, so knight f4 does seem to just block everything, does it not? He could maybe take. No, he can't take there because we're threatening mate. If he moves his rook, we threaten mate again. So knight f4 just looks like the logical move here. Blocks all the checks, threatens mate. So knight f4? I hope it's wrong. Ugh. I mean, I hope it wasn't wrong. So maybe knight d4 then. I'm not quite sure. Okay, apparently that's wrong too. So then there must be something else going on here. Oh, I see. Maybe we can just take on e8 immediately. Is that maybe a possibility? Because we mate on. Okay, so there's a force mate, isn't there? So we go rook. We go knight check here. No, but then he can block with the queen. Okay, so we're gonna have to be careful. We can't just make moves, apparently. Apparently. I don't like that he can block with the queen. Oh, but it's still mate. Never mind. So knight check. King that way. Okay, now we just go rook check here. Rook check here, and knight f5 is mate. So we had to just find the mate. I just want to show the other variation as well. So after queen takes e8, king there, and knight here. If he plays queen e5 instead of king f8, then we have the same mate because the queen is still pinned. So we just go rook g8 check, king e7, and knight f5 is still mate. Because we cover the d6 square, we cover the e6 square with the bishop, the rook covers the back rank, and of course the queen can't take because the queen's pinned. Just so that you can understand that mate. So it's a nice pattern. It's bouncing around, and obviously the knight finishes the job. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the other variation works as well, but you know, maybe he can stop the mate. Not that he's not going to lose, but maybe he can stop the mate. Okay, this one, if pawn takes, on the other hand, though, I'm just trying to look at knight e5 as a move. But he can take with a pawn, can he not? And he is threatening to queen himself as well. He is threatening to queen himself. Tricky trickster. So like I said, the first instinct here was to play something like a blocking move, like knight e5. The rook can't take. Well, I mean, maybe the rook can take so, because this pawn is going to queen on e1. That's not fun. It's not fun at all. Any way to trap the king? Might be. Might just be. Might just be. We're just looking at ways to maybe trap the king in here. I just don't see how we're going to check from the side, because he can block with all kinds of things. Because our knight's hanging as well. It's a bit of a nuisance. Little bit of a nuisance. I mean, knight h4 looks okay, because of course we can just fork. So the question is, are we trying to draw, or are we trying to win still here? That becomes the real question. Again, I'm going to focus on rather getting these right, by the way, because if you do get them right, no matter how long you take, then you don't lose any rating, which is important as well. I mean, I don't care about winning rating, but the point is just, I mean, you know, the point of tactics is to get them right. So, you know, and if we don't have to lose rating by getting them right all the time, you know, then that's perfectly great too, isn't it? Knight h4, like I say, is definitely an option. Because then if he queens, we can just queen, you know, play knight f3 check. And win his queen back. Or win the piece, yeah, the queen back. So we don't end up losing this endgame. So knight h4, maybe, what then? He takes our pawn, it's logical. Go knight f3 check maybe. And then there's just no way for him to stop that pawn. Is there any mates for us, maybe? There might be some mates. Check. So I'm looking at something like knight h4, rook takes e7, f4 check, king goes to h6, knight f5 check, king goes to, let's say, maybe h7. Wait a minute. Just need to see if we can fix this somehow. Because if we can get the same type of check idea we just had. So there. f4 check. King goes to wherever. King can go there as well, I guess. Aha! Wait a minute, there might be a mating idea here. Not sure, but there might be a mating idea here. But our own knight is in the way. This might be a bit of a nuisance. So, you know, you're looking at stuff like maybe even knight f8. But okay, you could just queen maybe then. That doesn't help. Knight e5 is still a possibility. But I was looking at maybe just rook takes. f4, king moves, we take, he queens, we could queen. So maybe we can win that. Okay, so, and if knight e5, if pawn takes, then we could play rook takes, and we could easily draw. So the question still just becomes, do we want to draw or do we want to try and win this? Is there a mating net here or some funky way of winning the rook? Anything like that? Knight h4, if rook takes pawn. Okay, first knight h4, if he queens, we go knight f3. King moves, we take the queen, he takes, and we play rook b7. And we're the only one playing for anything here. So that, I mean, it's probably a draw still, but, you know, that's okay. My instincts tell me that knight h4 should be right. And I don't see any other mates. I'm trying to find a mate here as well. Like I said, there's this idea of trapping him with you know, if we could trap the king on, like, let's say a square like h5 by playing like f4 check, because then if he queens, we have the rook h2 idea of mate as well. Now, like I say, I'm pretty sure that we draw if we play knight e5. Con queen, because then we go. Wait, if he queens immediately. If he queens immediately, okay, then we just go knight f3 check, I guess. If he takes with the rook, we can play f4 check. Oh, but it's a check when he queens then. That doesn't help. So that doesn't work. So knight h4 seems like the only move. I'm gonna play knight h4. Okay, apparently it's incorrect. So let's see what, you know, let's try the other moves. Knight e5. Okay, that doesn't work. Knight f8 was what another one we looked at, and then knight. Is there really a knight f4 move? No, that doesn't work apparently either. Okay, do we queen maybe first? Do we? Ah, maybe we can play rook takes e2. That's an idea. Just trying to see how we follow it up. Now what? Because our knight's hanging. Ah, I see. Now 95. So we had the right ideas. We just needed to change the move order, you see. We take, and if he goes king f7, we take this pawn. Okay. I get it, I get it. But not the easiest thing. Okay, so, you know, it would have been an obvious idea to look at the sack as well, because suddenly you realize that there might be forks and stuff as well. And blocking ideas. Okay, this should just be over after pawn push. Yeah? Because we have this pawn push as well. Yes. Oh no, sorry, sorry. Oh, apparently that is good. Then bishop here makes sense because now he can't stop that. Okay, good. Come on, really? Do we have to play it all the way to there? Okay, at least we get some rating back on that one. Let's continue. So that was an easy one. You just promote your pawns. You know, no rocket science there. Hmm. Can we just take? Just want to take it. Um, there's this idea here. Okay, wait. Maybe he can still play his knight there. So, I have this idea of getting the check on e4 eventually, and then just moving my king with rook h8 mate and rook h1 after that mate. If the king is on h2. So the knight on g4 is hanging right now. If he takes, he takes with the pawn. Can I really play knight takes e3, f takes e3, queen e4, king takes h1, king takes h1, h2, king e2. How you like that one? Maybe he goes king back, but then king. Yeah, it looks like he's in a mating net, but I could be wrong. Let's play knight takes e3. Okay, apparently it's wrong. Hmm. Oh, of course, man. This is wow. Why do I miss stuff like this right now? It is morning. I apologize. It's still morning for me. Okay, so yeah, so that was actually not that hard. So not having the greatest of starts right now. This, this. Okay, our knight's hanging. This looks odd. Very odd. This looks more like a saving tactic, because we just fell into something. Is there a way to save ourselves? Wow, it doesn't look very good, does it? Okay, it seems like the idea is to play rook c5 as a saving tactic. Because then if he takes our knight, we take the rook, we take the rook, and we take the bishop. So that seems like the only real option here. So rook c5 must be the only saving grace we have. Because then we just save the tactic. So there are tactics where you have to just save the position, because you're in trouble. And then you can get out of it. Okay, this looks very... Rook d3 looks like almost a must. Almost a must, I say. Okay, rook d3 check, obviously. Then check again, because he can't go back to c3. And now? Now maybe we can play c3, because he queens without check. We go check, king goes here, he goes check, check, queen check. We get everything with checks, though. So we might be able to finish him off. And of course, his king is going to be an awkward place as well. We could play b2 as well and queen first, but that seems a bit slow. And rook check on c2 looks bad. Because then king d1, and there's no way for us to, continue. So c3, queen, b2 check, king goes there, check. Oh, okay, of course, we can just play b3 immediately. King goes there, b1, check, and then it's a mate, isn't it? So, well, it's not mate yet, but it will be mate, won't it? Yes, it will be. c3, okay. Check, 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 and that's mate. Okay, so he just runs himself into mate. He just doesn't have much of a choice in the matter, it seems, but okay. So black just played what looks more like a defensive move. He is down a pawn, and there's no immediate threats to our king as well. Bishop h5 check looks entertaining. Some ideas of thereafter to play queen. Play queen e8 if he goes king f6. You know, looks like he's going to struggle to get out of here. But maybe we want to block first. Maybe we want to play queen d7 first, bishop e7, then check. King goes maybe to f6, then queen e8. It looks like he's going to have a very hard time surviving. Check. That would be mate, wouldn't it? Yes. Queen check. Queen d7 check. So we're just trying to create a mating net here. Now bishop check here. And now queen e8. Because he doesn't have any checks. Queen e8. And now there's mates everywhere. There's mate. Queen h8 is also mate. So, and of course, queen f7 and g6 is mate as well. So if he tries something like move his queen to give himself the king running away to e5 square, then queen h8 is mate as well. Okay, moving along. This one, g6 looks very tempting. No immediate threats. And of course, we're threatening just to mate with the queen. With the queen on h8. So let's just see if there's anything, he can do about this. He could play one of his knights to f6 maybe. Yeah, sacrifices a knight, but so what? I mean, it's survival now. Survival. He has up a lot of material. He's up 3 pieces for this. So we do have to do this right. Aha. Maybe rather queen h8 check, king f7, queen. Ooh, maybe g6 immediately. Yes, so check. And then we have g6. Because queen h5 is mate. Okay, that's a nice little one. Cute little, forcing the king out, flushing him out to g6 and mating him. Okay, here he just attacked our queen. We are attacking things though. We are attacking on e3. We're attacking all over the show. There is a lot of material possibility of winning here. So it's equal right now, but we can take on d2. Okay, maybe you can just play bishop takes d2 then. Maybe he's fine. Because there's these options of bishop takes d2. If he takes your queen, you play bishop takes e3 check first, and then you take on c7. There might be an idea of just playing maybe knight c5, just attacking the queen and threatening also then obviously on e5. On e3, sorry. Wow, my notation still, huh? I look at the board from the wrong way around, of course. Still looking at the board from the bottom, so I'm thinking about white's side. So e3 is hanging. So knight c5 does look like an option. Because if he moves his bishop, let's say bishop takes c2, we can just take the piece, the queen, and after rook takes, he takes our knight. We're obviously just up an exchange. So we're threatening to win the exchange. Queen could maybe go. That doesn't work. I was looking at queen c2 after knight c5. We'd still just take on e3. Well, knight c5 looks very strong. It's a nice little intermezzo attacking idea. So knight c5 looks like the logical option. Yeah. After bishop takes, well, we could just take on d2 as well. Hold on, before we, you know, okay, but we can't right now. So, but we take here. He takes. Okay, well, they just wanted us to go this far. Because the knight on d2 is still hanging as well. So something like rook takes a4 now. Then knight takes d2. If he plays bishop e5, skewering us, then maybe bishop e3 check first. No, maybe not. Just trying to see if we can mate. Oh, maybe no. Then we just play rook takes. No, bishop e3 check first. Yeah, if king f1, then rook takes. Oh, we can't play rook takes b2. Yes. Just trying to see if we can mate. Just trying to see if we can mate him. Aha! Okay. Rook takes a5, bishop takes d2, bishop e5. Bishop e3 check, king f1, rook c2. Bishop takes b8, rook takes b2. Threatening to play rook b1 mate and the bishop on b8. Seems logical. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. We've caught up the rating we've lost so far. Ooh, that looks interesting. Queen e6 check. Immediate move that comes to mind, of course. With ideas of bishop g6 check. Yeah, okay, queen e6 check. Bishop h. Oh, okay, wait, it's not check. My bad. But okay, it's still a mate threat, isn't it? So bishop h5 is a mate threat. How does he stop that mate? Bishop h5? Yeah, now if he plays g6, we play bishop h6 mate. Okay, so that's just not the hardest thing on the planet. Whoa, what just happened here? Whoa. Okay, is there a stalemate plan? Bishop takes check. Yeah, knight check here, there's a stalemate plan. And then knight check here, because if the queen takes a stalemate. That's cute, Just working on the tactics there, forks, all forks, and of course then the bishop covers a7, and now after queen takes b3, all the squares are covered. So nice little sacrificing everything to get a stalemate. King runs himself into a square where he can get mated. So what is stopping us from playing just... want to cover this square. Maybe rather we play knight. Okay, knight check even. Okay. Let's just think about this. So there is the idea of, okay, knight e3 check. King goes back to h5 and maybe just king h3. Because how did you stop? Okay, maybe you can play g5 then. Tricky, tricky. Just find the right options here because there should be a mate. I mean, knight e3 looks logical, but knight g4. I don't like the g5 move. It's an escaping move. He gets to run away. I don't want him to run away. Aha! What about knight g7 now? That is clever. Because now that covers all the squares. Aha! So rook knight g7 must be correct, yes. Because of course now f3 is mate. Meh. This covers h5 and f5. So the king can't come back to where he was. Okay, catching up now. Ooh, this looks juicy. Can't we just play queen f2? Queen f2 looks very, very damaging. Queen f2. Queen f2. Rook g1. Queen takes g2. Rook takes. Rook check. King goes. Bishop takes f3 as mate. Now, does he have any interesting checks in between here? Can he mate us first? I don't think so. Can he draw? Maybe he can draw. I don't want him to draw. So after rook c8, king h7, he could maybe play rook h8 check. We take, and then queen check. Oh no, but then we just hide on h7 again, don't we? Okay, so queen f2 must be the move. It's a devastating move. Okay, check. This is just mate. Check. Checkmate. Okay, that was actually quite easy in the end. Actually, not the hardest puzzle ever because you just need to make sure that there's no perpetuals. So there's no defense either. Okay, so he checks us. So we need to just escape the perpetual checks here, it would appear. Rook g2 looks the most logical. Question is just, can we run? There's no... So we just need to escape all the perpetuals. That's all. If we can escape the perpetuals, then we should be winning this. Perpetual, obviously, I just mean, with the checking of the queen all over the place the whole time. Rook g2, queen f. Check. And we can't play there. Okay, I see. But no, if queen f2 check, f4 check, sorry, then we can just play king e2. Yes, this would be possible. Okay, rook g2 looks logical, but I could be wrong. Okay, apparently he goes there. Then king e2. Okay, wow, really that far? That's it? I mean, I'm still looking at 60,000 next bunch of moves, and this guy, they just want me to just get out of the immediate perpetual. Okay, well, I did it. Rook takes e7. Now, is there any quickies? That's basically what we're looking for here, is any quickies. Quickies. So, obvious moves, queen b1, but it doesn't work. I mean, we could also just play rook takes e7. You know, if he takes the knight, then we have a check. I see. And then we pin his queen. So do we just take it back? It looks like we can just take back. It doesn't have any checks. We can just take rook takes e7. Yeah, because now this runs into check down here. No? Yes. Because of bishop e5. Okay, so a fairly simple one. That's not rocket science. So it's just a case of the king unfortunately having to... Ooh, I like that move, but queen f2. We have the same idea here with queen f2 again. We also have rook takes... No, we don't. I was like, nah, no, we don't. So queen f2, he can't take rook takes f2 because of rook takes bishop. So queen f2 looks very, very simple. There's no checks, there's no nothing, so we just play queen f2, yeah. So it's the same idea again, it's all about the back rank, okay? So the rook can't move, so we can just put our queen on f2, threatening mate. And now, of course, if he plays rook g1, we're just going to play rook takes d1, and he's in big trouble. Okay, moving along. Rook d8, okay, it's pinned. There's just, looks like a mate, doesn't it? Queen c5 check is obvious. Check is obvious. Oh, okay, now apparently want to play rook. Oh, sorry, man. Ugh, man. Of course, I didn't even see that the bishop is defending the stupid square there. Okay. At least we didn't lose rating because the first move we got right. Here he is threatening stuff, isn't he? We just play... You see what he's thinking. H3 is probably our best move here. Because king takes h5, he plays king h7. Uh-oh. But maybe we can play h4 then, huh? Okay, maybe we can play h4 then. We could still be okay. Could still be surviving, sir. So king takes h7. If he plays rook h6 check, our king can just run out. Happily. Now, do we have any cheap threats of our own is the real question. It would appear. So rook, maybe we can throw in the rook check first. Because we have some mate threats. Then maybe h3. Because after rook a8, we will be the one trying to mate. I like it. I think rook check first, then h3. Could be wrong. Okay. Apparently there must be a better move now. Ah, of course. So our king is just free to run. Hey, we can just play rook a8. Sorry, I keep on forgetting that we can just, freely run. We have freebies. Now just g5? Because his rook is trapped, and of course, yeah, g5? Okay. So that wasn't so hard. Kind of messed that up a little bit, but it's okay. Didn't lose too much at least, because we got the first move right. Once again, first moves. Okay, this is funny, awkward, weird. Just bishop takes. There's no threats, is there? Sorry, I didn't even look now. Check. We just won the knight. Okay. Get a couple of them quickly just so we can get some rating up as well. Still want to get to the 2500 marker, but we do have time. Okay, here we have a king that is trapped. After bishop takes c3. Just need to see if there's not any moves that we can play in between first. There doesn't seem to be any mating nets here, so bishop takes c3. Ugh, apparently I'm wrong again. What, do we play rook c2 check first? Or is there even better here? Oh, I guess we could just play d2. Is that what they want us to do? Maybe just play d2 check? And then play bishop takes c3? Is that the idea? I don't know if I like it, because, I mean... Okay, d2? Apparently so. We get queen? Okay. I mean, after something like rook check and rook takes b2, you know, is he losing? Oh, the rook's hanging on a4. Okay, I see. I apologize for that. That was a bit stupid. The rook on a4 is just hanging. But let's say rook takes a2 now even. I mean, is this really? Okay, I guess after queen check, queen takes c3 in the end. Okay, maybe he does have some problems to solve. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's that clear cut, you know. Okay, I lost a lot of rating on that one. There's definite ideas here. I know the rook is just hanging on the a8. I'm just saying, it's just hanging. So we could just want to take it. We could just want to have a rook. Maybe they're looking at the variation, what if queen takes? But then just rook e1, maybe? I'm gonna chance it and take this rook. Yeah, I wanna chance it. Hui! Hey! What an easy one. Take a rook. Apparently we could have tried that faster. Okay. This looks nasty. Maybe this pawn endgame is winning. Rook g6. No, okay, then he goes there. No, that looks terrible. So can we survive? I will survive. Is the pawn endgame of any worth to us? Rook g7, b2, rook takes b7, da 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 da. King, king, king. Sorry, wait. Takes. King, 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 king. Oh, I think it's lost. The endgame looks lost as well. Now there is the idea of rook g3, maybe, giving us a bit more time to get our king closer. So maybe if, you know, we can try and get the exact same endgame with our king getting closer. So rook g3, king goes there, check goes there, king goes there. I'm not so sure about this one. Tough one. Tough one. Because this is all going to come down to being able to get your king around, maybe. You know, if we can get the rook, we lose the rook for the 2 pawns on B, then maybe we can still do something. I don't know, this doesn't look very nice. play check first as well. Also an option. Don't know if that helps us really though. I don't know if there's any crazy stalemate ideas. I don't think so. Your king is a little bit too deep in there, so I suspect that there's no stalemate ideas. I'm 100% sure the endgame is losing. The pawn endgame is losing, so we can't. So we have to do this with the right timing. Aha. Rook G5, but then he just takes the rook. Maybe takes pawn, 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 check. Go somewhere. Check, check. Okay, so rook G5. If pawn goes there, we go rook takes F5. If he queens, we go rook check. And king has to go to B2, then rook check on B5. We take, and we push the pawn. Okay, so rook G5. What a move. It's a wacky doodle one. Well, now we have to promote, of course. We promote with check at least. And after queen A1, we go and check here. We check here. Now we take the queen, and now we take on G5. Nice. It's a nice puzzle. I like the puzzle. I mean, look, we took 4 minutes, and we still got 8 rating points for that one. So that's why I say, get it right. Get them right. Okay, here we have, looks to be, obviously knight f5 doesn't, knight f7 doesn't seem to work. Maybe just double the rooks. I don't think we have to be scared of pawn takes h6 because we can just draw. But it looks like you want to win here. What's the material like? It's 5 pawns, 5 pawns. So, I would think that we would want to win here. Queen h5 maybe? Aha, Queen h5 is an idea because we have Rook g3 ideas as well. So Queen h5, if he takes our rook, we play Knight f5 check and we win the Queen. Queen h5, if he takes the pawn, then what? if he takes the knight, then what? Oops. Check, 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 takes, takes, takes. I guess we still have a bind. Because we do win the bishop on e6. The bishop on e6 is a problem for him as well. Maybe rook. Can we play rook g3 first? Oh, sorry, let me just turn on my tablet quickly here. Go. Rook g3 first. If he takes the knight, we take back. We're gonna end up being up material. So then take back queen h7. Queen takes e7. But we don't have anything after rook e8, it seems. I mean, we're probably still winning, but I'm just saying, we don't have anything. We're up a pawn, and his king still looks a little bit weak. Oh, sorry, of course. After queen h5, if he takes, we play check. If queen h7, then we can just take on f8. Okay. Okay. Queen h5. Thank you. Check. We play rook takes f8. Sorry, I didn't, I completely forgot about that move. Okay. That's it. Rook takes. Isn't there just a mate here soon enough? Maybe? Rook e3 check looks very tempting, folks. Looks very, very tempting. I mean, rook d8 check, king takes. I just fail to see how we're gonna finish it. We do not see the coup de grace. We could win his queen, of course. But we are down a lot of material, it would appear, so... knight takes f8 is also a possibility. If rook takes, then just rook takes a7 check, and after he moves his king, we just take on... Okay, so that does net us some material. Okay, so knight takes f8 is definitely the move, because we obviously just win all the material back. So now we up a rook. Okay, so that wasn't super rocket science. Bishop h6, that looks dodgy because that queen looks very trapped right now. Queen looks very trapped right now. But how do we trap the queen is the question. So bishop g4, bishop f3, sorry. Bishop f3, knight g4, h3, bishop takes, g5. Is this queen free after that? Does look like it, doesn't it? So the queen needs to be trapped. We need to trap this queen. Can we trap her immediately? Ooh, can we trap her with some pawns? What about bishop there? If knight g4, bishop takes g4, queen takes g4. Do we play f3 or do we play h3? Oh, he's still survive. No, then we play h3, queen h3, queen h7. H5 is the only move, it seems. H3, queen h5. Yeah, then g4, queen there, and then knight f3. Is that right? So look at it, look at it, look at it. Bishop f3. Sorry. Ah. Queen. Bishop takes g4. h3. g4. And this knight pops in here to finish the job. Bishop takes. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh, we just take the queen, of course. Sorry. Just take the queen. Nice one. That's a nice little puzzle. I like that. A little trapping the queen there. Okay, black, white just played here. He's got 2 pawns on the 5th or 4th rank, depending on what color you are. In this case, the 4th rank. So the king can't stop these 2 pawns, whereas our king can stop his. Pretty sure that's the answer. So we just play check, yeah. Because he can't stop the pawns. We can stop his pawn, but he cannot stop ours. Ours just run. You know, if he comes forward, we push the one, he can't take it. If he goes back, we just push the next one, the whole time. Because the 2 pawns are 2 rows away from each other, okay? There is the idea, obviously, if they are past the halfway marker of the board, then the king can't stop them. So that is something to know. about endgame. So we've reached the 2500 marker, but we still have time left. So let's see if we don't lose it. Um, hmm. Rook a6 looks like an extremely strong move, because everything hangs after that. So rook a6, and then how is he going to survive this? Rook a6. Surely that's just the destructive move here. Yeah, that's it. Apparently we got 1 point for that. Should have taken us 8 seconds to find that move. I mean, you know. Okay, so the rating system on this thing is a bit funny sometimes. I wonder if the target time is set by whoever put in the puzzle, or if the target time is based on um, the amount of time that people take. It's like the average time that people take to answer the puzzle. Anybody knows the answer to that? I'd love to know. Just throw it on the comments at the bottom somewhere, whatever. So the question is, the target time that you get for a puzzle, after you've done a puzzle, you'll see that there's a target time, which means that if you get it under that time and you get it correctly, you'll get 100%. So you'll get the maximum amount of rating that you can possibly get for the puzzle. So my question is the target time set by chess.com? Oh, I like this puzzle. I think 8 seconds is enough. You know what I mean? Or does the target time change depending on how the average time that people take to finish this puzzle? Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have some quick lookies here. Quick looks, quick looks, quick looks. Quick looks. First instinct says bishop h7 check, king h8, queen h5, because he cannot play pawn takes g5 because of bishop g6 and queen h7 mate. Okay. Now after all of that, he could, in the end, after queen h5, he can play maybe queen e8. This does not look promising. Now again, there's a bunch of sacrificing ideas here then. We could maybe play knight takes e6 or something. Just trying to see if I can find a way in here. There is some nasty ideas, maybe even with with knight h7. If rook e8, then queen g5, maybe? We also have knight f6 ideas as well, by the way. So knight f6 check, pawn takes, queen g5 check, queen g4 check, knight g6, bishop takes g4, pawn takes, king goes wherever, and it looks like we have some powerful attack going on here in the end there. Okay, so knight h7 is my final decision. Apparently I'm wrong. Okay, let's go with the bishop h7 idea then. Apparently it was the correct move. Queen h5 is what I thought. Okay, so that's where we're going wrong. Okay, I see. Oh, of course, just a simple queen takes d8. Oh no, apparently not. Ah, come on. I keep on doing this. Okay, so I didn't realize that the queen is hanging. So we could just play knight takes f7. Okay, that was a simple one, so we lost quite a lot of rating. Okay, now we gotta get it back. Okay, he just took queen check. Looks very logical. Let's do this quickly. King moves. Do we have any checks in between now? Queen can't run, so queen check. Yeah, and then queen, or is there something else? Queen, queen check, the knight d3 check. Okay, and then we just win the queen. Okay, there we go. That should help us get back up there. Ah, oh, yes, there we go. Nice little 10 quick rating points. Let's do one more. See if we can finish this nice and strong. Okay, his king looks very trapped out there. We could just win a queen now by playing rook e6 check. King goes wherever. Okay, I guess his king could go to c5 as well. But then we have a double check. He goes to c5. If he goes to c7, then we just go knight takes and we win a queen. But we are down a lot of material, so there must be a mate here. The idea must be to mate. So what, just knight b5 check? Yeah, knight b5 check with rook e6 as mate, isn't it? Okay, so that was not a hard one to finish off nicely with. There we go, a little 2 points. Okay, so we've cracked the 2500 marker. We've managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 out of the last 10 correctly, which really did help, of course. So we pumped up another 70 rating points or so for this session. I must admit, in my games, I'm also starting to see a lot of tactics, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at stuff, like, you know, my tactical vision is definitely starting to go nuts. So, you know, this is why you have to do tactics every day, you know? But like I say, I suggest that you do it slowly. There is no point in, you know, trying to just get them within every 5 seconds, you know, playing those instinct moves of yours or whatever, to try and get the rating points, you know, to get your tactics high. Okay, so again, you know, if you're down at 1200 in tactics or something, take your time on the tactics. You're going to get them right if you just take your time. It's more important to get them right than it is to get them quickly. I cannot stress this enough. Okay, more important to get them right than it is to get them fast. Cool. Okay, boys and girls, thank you so much. I will see you guys in about an hour for our next show.